Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Warframe Iron Man. And gamers, this is a bit of a special offshoot. This isn't a normal episode of the series or anything. This is going to be the Warframe Iron Man year in review. This account was started on January 20th, and it has been exactly a year and a week as the time I'm recording this. Why am I late to this? Because I am. I'm making this, though, as a recap to the year that we've had on this account, as a way to express my gratitude for 1,000 subscribers. That number is a very big, important one for the channel. It means a lot to me that everyone's tuned in for the series, but also just to keep track of all of the stuff we've accomplished throughout the year, and the 46 episodes that we've had up until this point. In this video, we're going to be going over what the Warframe Iron Man is, how it's been being a Warframe Iron Man account throughout this past year, some of our accomplishments, our progress in our dojo, which is very important to this account, and we're going to take a look at the stats of our year in review that were published on Warframe's website. But before we get into everything, let's start off with what is the Warframe Iron Man. Now, this account isn't just me playing through on a alt account, going through the game and just playing as anyone would normally do. No, this is an Iron Man account. Taking inspiration from RuneScape, we are completely solo. There's going to be no trading on this account. And if you're curious as to what all of the rules are for this account, I'll have them linked in the description. I have them linked in the description of every episode that I've put throughout this series and updated them as rules get changed around. But more importantly, this account is going to be a 100% playthrough of Warframe. Eventually, I would like to have our stat screen completed. We're talking the full 100% if I come in here. All of the equipment done. All of the grinds done. And we're going to be responsible for doing it all ourselves, with no outside help and no skipping around through shortcuts like circuit and all that. If that sounds interesting to you and you found this video and haven't seen my series, I'll have linked in the description the playlist of all of the episodes that have come out around this account if you would like to get caught up or is just interested in watching that. Otherwise, no worries. You want to see what 1 year of playing on an account does, you're going to be probably disappointed because we've realistically done very little in terms of progression on the account, but we have accomplished quite a lot regardless on this account, and we're going to be basking in all of our glory. But before we get into all of that, I just want to give some of my thoughts on this year and how the Warframe Iron Man has treated me. End of the day, it's been pretty freaking good. This is a passion project for me. I am very passionate about this account and the challenge I've laid before myself, and I've had fun almost the entire way through. Even when I get hoed, drop rates are bad, I'm smiling. It's been so fun to have a fresh new start on an account. I have a main that is like almost mastery rank 35, and the only reason I say that is because if I level one more weapon, I'd be there, but I don't log into that one much. It's just been so nice to have a fresh perspective on Warframe, and being able to do everything in the game again has just been such a blessing, and the process of making content on it has been really fun as well. I've learned a lot throughout the year. I'm sure if you started the series, episodes 1 through 10 was what is bro doing on that editing software. Then I got comfortable, started getting better, and I think throughout the year I've learned a lot about video editing and production as a whole. Also got to start streaming, and that's been pretty fun as well. So yeah, this account is quite special to me, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in. But I do also want to talk about some of the bad things on this account, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. I got a very particular mindset when it comes to things. A lot of the stuff that I would consider to be like tedious or very labor intensive, stuff that really shouldn't be, I'm completely fine with. You tell my ass, go play normal path mirror defense and, salute. Yes, sir. We'll get it done. There are still a couple of complaints I'll have with Warframe in its current state for free-to-play players. You should probably know where we're about to go with this. It's definitely Warframe slots. I mean, and it's not just Warframe slots, it's slots in general. Let's come in here, and I'll show off These are the Warframes we've collected and that we have in our arsenal. We got 3, technically 4 primes, and 6 normal Warframes. And I believe we have 11 slots. Yeah, we can check that easily if we come in here. Yeah, so we have 11 Warframe slots, which if we weren't making content on and I wasn't cycling through characters all the time, would be pretty reasonable, albeit still constrictive. But weapon slots, we're running low on, and I do need to go through and clear out some of this because some stuff we're not going to need. Uh, and then companion slots, we're stuck with 10 until probably the end of time. I'm not going to be spending this 50 starter platinum for God knows how long, because I think it's funny to hold on to it, and it also keeps true to never spending on the account if we just don't touch this. It's a good little visual indicator to know I'm not a dirty little cheater. But slots in Warframe is a huge problem. I think one of the most fun things about this game is how comprehensive build variety can be, and there are a lot of elements that go into that. That being your Warframe builds, your weapon builds, and your companion. It all flows together in a neat little kind of flow state, I guess, where everything can be reliant on each other, everything can be separate, but once it's combined, it's amalgam together, it's all going to work out to be as effective as it can be. But there comes a problem when we are limited on what we can have. I think we've gotten about 7 Warframe slots in the year. Actually, 6. I don't count Excalibur Umbra as being a separate Warframe slot, because once you get him, you can't get rid of him. He's a permanent stain on your account. Being dramatic on that, by the way. We got 4 slots from in-game stuff, like doing the first junction, the Venus one, battle passes, the night waves, and then the Tenno Bomb. I think they gave it out during Tenno Bomb, or was it the November or the Breast Cancer Awareness Month charity rewards? Regardless, we got 4 slots that way, and then we got 2 slots from being given free characters, those being Oberon and Valkyr Prime from the Oberon rework and the TennoCon free Prime Warframe that they gave out respectively. And that's going to be great for us if we continue playing for another couple of years. We might manage to get up to 30 Warframes, and that's, sure, man, that's cool. I say 30, but it's actually more like higher at middle end of 20. But the problem is that there's 63 Warframes in the game, and only being limited to about a third of that is kind of ass. It's really fun to have as many characters as you can, and on a free-to-play account, of course, I can't do that. I'm very limited as to whatever the game decides to give me. Whereas Warframes, we get a lot of slots. Weapons, we get quite a few, but there's a lot of weapons that it's just like you use something in its stead, right? Like have one of every good category of weapon, a good rifle, a good shotgun, a good sniper, you're kind of set. Even though it would be nice to have a lot of those, that's the one I'm kind of the least interested in getting more weapon slots, because at the end of the day, I could just like sell probably half of these weapons and be fine. But companions are a lot of fun now, and we are going to be stuck at 10 probably until the end of time. And what's really big of a problem is that some companions, mostly robotic ones, are the normal companion and the weapon that they come with. Like Taxon, it'd be Taxon and the Artax. And while, yes, I'm never going to use the Artax in my life ever again, once I get the Vergless, it just kind of sucks. Especially, remember, on this account, I'm going to be getting 100% completion, so I'm going to have to start crafting a bunch of characters. So that means at all times, I have to have 2 free slots available in case I need to craft a robotic companion and a weapon, or else I won't be able to take them out of the foundry. So that leaves us with 8 permanent companion slots, and that one's going to suck. We're not there yet, but once we do, it's going to be pretty ass. And that's really, it's crazy because that's my real only complaint to free-to-play Warframe. This is coming from a perspective of a veteran player who's looking at it through a free-to-play lens and just my personal experience with the game. But at the end of the day, this is a subjective kind of discussion, so yeah, it's my opinion. So what? Anyway, that's all that done. Now we're gonna be taking a look at some of the accomplishments on the account. And the first one I want to come down here is we're gonna take a look at all of the bossing we've done on this account. Firstly, I will preference this by saying the point we're at on this account is we have just completed the Chimera Prologue quest, which was the cutscene where Ballast, gaps and then gives you the Paracesis blueprint. We're not that far into the story at all. We are very behind. 46 episodes in, by the way, in a weekly series. Yes, I am a procrastinator, but that's also because I get shit done on this account, as we will see. Anyway, for where I'm at in the game, I am pretty happy with where we're at in terms of bossing. These are all of the articulas we've collected. Now you'll notice that is the Tridolon and the Exploiter Orb Articula. And I made sure to farm those out once we did the respective boss fights in the episodes that correlated with them, just as like a kind of reminder as to the good times we've had. Eidolon hunting is a thing of the past. God, it is outdated. If you need these arcades, just go open Voss for caches. But for the rules that I have in place on my account, which technically I don't have these listed in the rules, which I probably should. I have a lot of those kind of rules on this account that I just make up and hold myself to. But we are going to be getting all of the arcanes from the Eidolons themselves, rather than skipping through. So it's very important that we do these occasionally, just to kind of work towards that. But we were able to do Eidolon hunting very early. I will say the caveat to that is that we got the Zenith pretty quickly on the account. I say pretty quickly, but it's still a 200-day reward login. But it kind of trivializes the fuck out of Eidolons. They are so easy once you get that in Madurai. It doesn't matter. So we were able to crank those out. And what we did even earlier than that, I believe, I don't remember, was the Plague Star grind. Now, out of all of the stuff that I've done on the Iron Man, Plague Star has been the worst. And it's not because, it was so tough solo or anything. That's actually a lie. It is because it was so tough solo. We were not able to kill the Hemocytes efficiently, which are the boss fight from Plague Star. You needed to kill 4 at a time to complete the bounty, and that simply wasn't an option. We were just too weak. So when I took that grind up, I was just doing incompletes, which is I would do the first 3 stages of the bounty, and then once we got to the boss fight, I would just leave and take whatever rep that I earned throughout that, and we would just run with it. And it was so ass. It took like an entire week of 8-hour shifts. It was that bad. And the reason I say that is because I maxed out the standing and got a bunch of forma from it. And so it is very memorable because damn, that sucked. And so I got the floof as a little reminder of it. And then Exploiter Orb went really like freely. It wasn't that bad. I still do think Exploiter Orb is really boring in the second phase. It's just a wait fest. Wait until the heat gauge rises, and then yay, you get to do a quick time event, and then yay, you get to shoot a barely moving weak point. Kinda buns, bro. But you get Hildren from it. You get a fuck ton of Vox Solaris standing. That's awesome. And that's about it, honestly, because the ephemeras are kind of poopy from it. But that means that we have one more boss in this kind of showcase that I have left, which is going to be Profit Taker. And that one's going to be the hardest to set up for because I am resource broke and I'm going to have to do it solo. But stay tuned for that. It'll be a lot of fun. Another accomplishment that I have on this account that I'd like to discuss is the amount of Warframes I've collected. Now, again, given the nature of my sort of grinding pattern on the account, where everything's solo and we're getting it from their respective farms, I have to tackle a bunch of shit that is just go do circuit, bruh. And if you think about it, you probably understand, like, characters like Korra come down here. Ivara was pretty buns to get. Oberon sucked, and I grinded him up. I'm very happy with where I'm at in terms of my Warframe collection. It says I only have 22 out of 112 completed. That's just the characters that I've crafted and leveled. Going off of base Warframes that I've collected, we have 36. which is around 57% of the 63 total base Warframes. We are balling. Now, I gotta get better about crafting them and using them, because a lot of the times I just sit on Volt Prime, and that's my guy. He just makes everything so much easier. What can I say? We're doing pretty good on all of the Warframes, and every time I craft a Warframe, I gotta show them off on the series. Gotta use them a little bit before they get sent to my helmet. But we're doing pretty good. There's a lot of good characters in this game, and it's kind of a metric I have for how much we've done on the account, so that's why I'm going over that. As for like weapons and equipment, it's we got a lot less. I try to get the Warframe weapons at the same time that I get the Warframes. A lot of the earlier ones don't really have anything in specific, so I kind of skip over those. But like for characters like Citrine and Wisp, I guess, we get stuff like the Stephalos and the Fullman. So it's been pretty fun. I do enjoy all of the grinding in this game. It's just so beautiful. And then we can take a look at some of our mods that we've collected. Starting right off the bat, our galvanized stack is looking pretty grim, but that's because solo arbitrations are some of the most dog shit content on this game. They are so boring. I really only have plans to go forward with streaming them. It's not something I like doing on my free time. And a majority of that is just the problems I have with normal path, that being spawn rates. Put me in a normal path survival, I am snoozing, and that's pretty much how arbitrations go at the same time. We have all of the amalgam mods. That's more positive. Pretty fun. I'm looking forward to use a lot of the Ropalolist ones. Operation Buried Debts has the real bangers, though, but they're kind of just like... I've used them so much normally that they kind of mean nothing to me now, if that makes sense. Like, they're just kind of nice little tools that I put on and forget about, even though I have Amalgam Serration not leveled. We have 2 Rivens, both of which are funny. The first one being the Zorus. I've rolled this one a bit. It's really strong, actually, for a Riven. It's initial combo and electricity. It's a pretty stacked Riven, in my opinion. This was like the first melee Riven I got, which is hilarious considering I am a Zorus Glazer. That shit comes in clutch every time I do anything in this game. Especially on this account, is what I've learned. Absolutely S-tier weapon. Deserves its status as most used weapon of 2025 in the melee slot. Real ones put on the Praetos, but they definitely don't be attacking with it. And then we have my Vidaria Prime Riven, which it required Master Rank 14 to equip, but on an account where I can't trade or buy Prime accesses, that's kind of hilarious considering the Vidaria Prime is a Mastery Rank 15 weapon. I just thought that was neat. Going back to it, though, we have a lot of primed mods, and we have all the sacrifice mods as well. The primed mod stack, I kind of just prioritize getting mods that are going to be good for late game. I haven't leveled them. I haven't used them. I like to keep myself grounded and use a lot of earlier game equipment. But seeing as the account is going to be going into Steel Path sometime soon, I future-proofed. I made sure to collect a bunch of these because they're going to be essential in making our equipment the best it can be for that content. So yeah, we managed to get one of the login day rewards prime mods too, and I chose the best one, Primed Vigor. I mean, we're gonna get so much value out of it. I'm fucking kidding. It was for the bit. This mod is shit, but I thought it was so funny. Rest and Pissed Prime Shred will get you at 600 days. I don't even remember the next one. It was, Primed Fury. My ass will just use Quickening or Berserker Fury. And then for, like, neat gold mods that I can talk about, I'm collecting augments as I level up my factions. Almost done with Red Veil and Steel Meridian. That'll be so nice. We have all of the corrupted mods, which I guess I can show this off really easily. Alright, I can show off this completed list. This is kind of a flex, considering we had to just do these by ourselves. The one that really wanted to be a pain in the ass happened to be one of the most useless ones. Where is it? Magnum Force, right here. We probably could use it, but these mods, Magnum Force and Heavy Caliber are kind of outdated and unnecessary. Thank you, Arcanes. But still, collection log. We love to see it. We managed to get Condition Overload one day, completely on accident. It happened while we were trying to get our Volt Prime. Very thankful for it. I will be using this once we get into Steel Path, but I'm not a big fan of Condition Overload because I don't like using primers. If I did, I would probably be geeking, more so than I did when we got it. But it is one of the rare mods that I think is worthy of discussing. But if I had to talk about any of the mods that was a pain in the ass to grind for, it would have to be the Nightmare mods. Now, I'm glad that I pulled it up this way because I thought I had completed all of the Nightmare mods. But as it turns out, I haven't. We are missing, I believe these are both tier 2 Nightmare mods, which, dude, this is going to take like 5 seconds of me like actually trying. Like, once I finish this recording, I'm probably going to go attempt that and get it finished. So that's great. We got Blaze, and we got the most useless fucking mod ever that I hate. I hate this mod. Hammer Shot. They're both the 1% mods from tier 1 Nightmare missions, and they are the infamous mods. I managed to get 5 total Blazes before I got 1 Hammer Shot, which I took my duplicates of Blaze and re-rolled into a true steel. That is such a funny clip to me. I really need to take it out of that video and just have it as a clip. But I can't stand this mod, and I'm so happy to have it because in the future, we'll never have to go for it, if you know what I mean. Don't let anybody gaslight you into putting this on your weapon. There are better options 100% of the time. Don't spend like 80 platinum trying to get it for a completionist's sake. You won't use it. Save that shit. Buy 4 Warframe slots. Buy some Orkin catalysts, some reactors. Please, I'm begging you. Let's deflate this mod down to 15 platinum. Or actually, better yet, however much Blaze is worth. Fuck this mod. And the last little flex that I'd like to show off is going to be our Forma count. Yes, that is 235 Forma, all ethically sourced from Plaguestar. Even though I have been doing this for about a year now, you could not get me to log in every day and keep up my Forma grinding. I simply am just that lazy of a bastard. I don't do my dailies. I don't log into my fucking Dokkan account daily. And I've been doing that for a lot longer. But still, 235 Forma, very good. That's going to be wondrous for, albeit crafting Dojo weapons, finishing the absolutely insane grind of mastering all of the adversary weapons, staying true to our Warframe Iron Man rules and polarizing the base Warframes before we can use the primes. Pretty much you name it. This stack is going to be fat. I have 4 Omniforma blueprints, and that number will probably only get higher as I get more from arbitrations because these crafting requirements are ridiculous, stinky, nasty, and the only time I really use Omniformas is going to be on Aura slots on my Warframes. I have 2 Umbra Forma. I got a 3rd on the way. It's literally in the foundry. I gotta go claim it. 4th one at the end of the battle pass. This number is going to drop exponentially very soon. And not for any reason that you guys that aren't familiar with the series will understand. And then why do these exist? Stance Forma. Oh, we love that. Okay, dude. Anyway, that's all of like the collection stuff that I really wanted to talk about. We can come over here and look at our helmets progress. I have a lot of the most pristine and yummy helmets at our disposal, which, again, once we get to Steel Path, is going to be so good. So I thought I'd just come in here real quick. And then if we wanted to look at our focus progress, which I think is the last thing that we can take a look at, is I'm doing pretty good. I gotta spend some of this, but I'm not gonna do it right now. Vazarin is my main. I just love defensive utility, and that's exactly what Vazarin provides. Just being able to Void Sling and save myself. Big dub. We have all of the Eidolon shards to get any waybounds that we come across. That's cool. And then my second bestie is Moderai, just because this allows your your operator to do damage. So, very important. But enough of that. Let's go to the dojo so we can take a look at the dojo progress that we've accumulated. Because on a solo account, there's one thing that is more terrifying in the world, and it's the gripping reality of how many resources we're going to be sinking into the dojo. So let's go take a look at that. Okay, so we'll start off with our dojo like layout. This is built for pure efficiency and nothing more. It could have been even better, but I'm not good at planning things, so bear with me. On this side, we have our reactors, our cross connector hallways, and then a grand hall, I believe is what this one's called. This was purely for capacity for our dojo and a little bit of energy, if I remember. And this leads directly into our dry dock, because yeah, our neat little railjack needed a place to stay. So yeah, we built that. I don't really care for decorating this place. That sounds like resources well wasted. And if I'm gonna waste them on anything, it's gonna be farming clips. But then we've got our labs on this side, in a bunch of random cross connectors again. We finished the Void lab, the Orkin lab. It's very fucking easy to do. It's 4 blueprints. I hope anybody playing solo can do it, especially with the power those provide. Oh my god. The bio lab, not very far in here. We got our Torrid, we got our dual Toxicists, our dual Ichor, all just setting up for eventual Incarnants. But the main hangup I have with this lab is that I don't want to spend any of my mutagen samples. And the reason for that is because one day, we're going to have to come back in here. I'm going to have to finish off the Hema. This thing is the solo player, free-to-play 100%er's bane. 5,000 mutagen samples. A year later of playing, and I have only 446 stockpiled, so we are doomed once we get around to finishing this off. But for now, hey, let it sit there. That's what we got going on in there. And then up next is the Tenno lab, and this I kind of just bounce between. Honestly, I don't have any plans. I prioritized getting all of the Warframes done because I think Warframes, they affect our account the most. We get helmets and content off of them. But other than that, the weapons, it's just kind of like, if I come in here and something's cheap, I'll finish it off real quick. Problem I have with a lot of these weapons, though, is they require exorbitant amounts of oxium, and I can't afford that. But, you know, it is what it is. Eventually, we'll have to complete all of these, and I think we've started making good progress on them. Having the Warframes done especially is good. And then I'd like to have the Itzel completed, but yeah, oxium. So that's all that. Oh, and we don't have any progress in any of these colors. The simple fact is I just forget this exists. I'm gonna put on what is like the brightest green. I like tree green. This is like the funny green, the green screen green. So we'll put this on. Now whenever we kill arid lancers, I guess we're gonna be getting pigments. I hope I remember to research that. Moving on, we'll go into the Grineer lab first because the energy has a lot to talk about. Actually, Chem lab I prioritized for the simple reason of a lot of these weapons. Actually, I'm going to take that back. I thought there were a lot more Grineer weapons in here that took, that had Kuva counterparts, but I guess not. Anyway, the one I wanted to talk about the most in here, actually 2. The first being the new core. The new core is going to be very important because it's one of the best secondaries to get from liches. In fact, out of all of the lich secondaries, it is just the best. That's not even a contention, is it? The rest of them are fucking mid. I needed to have this researched for the eventual day that we start tackling liches. And then the Argonac I wanted to talk about as well, because the Argonac is going to make our Rock the Dark Dagger a very useful utility tool. If you know how that works, you know. When we take a look at this, it looks like we're doing pretty good, but unfortunately, this is the Tenno Dojo, bitch. We can't have nice things. Here are the Nux requirements. That is, yep, 10 tellurium and 20,000 cryotic. Thank you. I love doing excavation missions. You're so, thank you so much. It is what it is, man. And then finally, in terms of the normal 4 labs, we have the energy lab. This one I have the most stuff researched in it because, again, a lot of these are cheap, and tenant progress is what I was mainly looking for, as well as vandal progress, because a lot of these corpus weapons have vandal counterparts, mainly the Supra, the Spectra, and the Dara. Off the top of my head, have direct upgrades into Spectra weapons, but I think also like maybe the Quanta does, I believe. It's also got the Mutilist version and all that. And then these Fortuna weapons down here, as I like to call them, because they all took Fortuna weapons. It's everybody's favorite little piss laser beam. Oh yeah, I have this thing, and I've started working on it a little bit, but it is one of my least favorite weapons in this game. So I deem it overhyped as shit. But hey, I have it, and it's got a catalyst. It's Formud, so maybe it's still good. But good progress in here, honestly. We have a lot more done than any of the other labs. The one thing I need to get done is this anti-serum injector research, because this will allow us to go for longest periods of time in that infested salvage mission is what these are used for. And we're going to have to do that at some point. Get our Nidus. But those labs are all underway. Got some progress in them. Moving on to this lab in quotation marks. We have our vent kit progress. Just Urelli is researched. The Ghoul Soul, I could probably research right now. Oh, never mind. Cryotic and Oxium. Gotta save that. Very cheap, though. And the rest of this is just decorative shit, which I will do, but I won't be happy about it. It'll be one of the last things I do. And then Dagoth's Crypt. Ooh. I think all of these come pre-researched once you craft the actual room. But we have all of this completed. We crafted the Doorclave and Dagoth. So, big money. I really wish that they gave us this character for free instead of giving us the crafted segments of her so that we would get another Warframe slot, but they hate us free-to-play players. They want us to go purchase platinum and trade for platinum and all that, and it's shit I can't do. But I'm a real one and got this done, so hey, don't matter. But that's the dojo progress. I have no idea if I put anything there. No, I didn't, so that's just empty. And the rest of this is just kind of a boring hallway, so that's that. That's the Green Lewis official dojo for you. Pretty underwhelming, but this will probably be one of the most tedious and ass grinds on the account, so that'll be fun. We're going to take a look at this stats page because it shows our playtime at the bottom. As you can see, we have 346 hours in the game. That is either not accurate or we're about to be lied to, because the final thing I'd like to do in this video is show off our year-in review on the Warframe official site, which I didn't have pulled up ahead of time because I'm a baby, I guess. Our Warframe 2025. But I'm just going to... I'll talk about stuff as we see it. So our favorite Warframe being Volt is absolutely not a surprise, and that total bounty mission completion shouldn't be a surprise either. Plague Star. Even though we were leaving bounties at the 3rd stage, even if those didn't count, actually, we still had to crank out so many open world bounties, whether it be farming for Aya, whether it be leveling up those factions, you name it. They were just so important to do this year, and so we cranked out a bunch. Volt's going to be probably forever my #1 most played because he's just so versatile in this game. Last year, we would have gotten... It would have been spiked anyway because of Plague Star, and he's the only character I played during that grind because he made the drone go faster. But even going into 2026, I think he'll still remain at the top. Or he'll be Wukong, and I'll just be, you know, the statistic of Warframe, I guess. The Zenith, The Zenith was just such a powerful tool, one of the greatest weapons you can get early on. Um, if you are willing to log in for 200 days or something to get it early on. It's a bit of a silly thing. Is it 200 days or is it 100? I've been saying 200, so I'm gonna hope that's right. Otherwise, no, it would have been 100. Oh my god, I'm figuring it out now. Don't worry. Anyway, very, very good tool. You just shoot out your disc and then start semi-auto firing. That thing fucking kills everything. It's so good. I don't have any words on my secondary. I didn't have a secondary that I particularly enjoyed using. I spent most of my time using my primary or my Zorus. However, the Automos with no Incarnate being there is based as shit, so that's kind of cool. Zorus. If the Zorus had a cock, I would suck it. It's such a good weapon. You get it for free, and throughout the entirety of your progression on Warframe, it's probably going to remain like one of your best melee options. You get it early, you just get some simple heavy attack spam glaive build. It works fine. You get galvanized mod, it shoots through the moon. It'll just kill anything you fucking throw it at, any group of enemies too. And then you get influence, and now it's quintupling the range of it. It's such a good weapon, and I cannot glaze this thing enough. And by the way, did I remember to mention that you get it for free? Oh, I did? Yeah. Deadlock Protocol. Thank you so much, Granum. Most usability speed. Yeah, of course. We like our drones going fast. Yeah, so here it says we had 500 hours on the game instead of that 300 number. I don't know if this is calculating the amount of time I sat just on the game on this account, or if it also includes, like, specifically mission time. However, 500 hours for a man with 2 accounts is pretty good. Our most active month being September. That was purely Plague Star. God help my soul. I never want to do that again. Favorite mission type, free roam. Yeah, that makes sense. Mission completed. We got almost 3,000. That's pretty fun. And then mastery rank 14 mostly comes from Warframe mastery rank. Like, I think a majority of that is the Warframes we've crafted. On top of junctions. Junctions give you a lot too. I shouldn't count that out. But 14 is pretty good. If we had a lot more space and I could just craft shit like a factory, I'd probably be a lot higher, but I gotta hold myself back. And here we go. Our top used Warframes were Volt, Wukong, Necros Prime, and Rhino. Rhino got nuked off the face of the planet very early on this account. And the reason for that is because we really only held on to him for his knockdown immunity. That was really the only thing that was valuable on Rhino. I don't require his survivability to live in a lot of content. So other than that, he would have just been a roar merchant. And so, I mean, that wasn't very valuable. But, I mean, 5%, he got us some distance. Necrosis, what can I say? I love resources. He's just the easiest character to hit one button and then double your loot. But I will say, god damn, this guy needs some buffs, because his base kit, and I'm specifically talking about his base kit here, no arcanes, we're not trying to make him as best as he can be and cope about it. His base kit is dog shit. His abilities suck ass. 1, 2, and 4. Awful abilities. I hope they get better. I'm sure, we can make Shield of Shadows work, or, we can, put on arcanes and, as 4, we cope about it. We can make it try to kill Steel Path enemies. You gotta go through so many hoops and boundaries on its own without any of that shit. It's so fucking laughably bad. I don't like it. I don't like this character. He may be, what is that, like 18%, 19% of my playtime. He sucks ass. I hope he gets better this year. Wukong is a phenomenal character. There's just nothing to really mention there. The ability Cloudwalker. That's all I have to say. His kit could suck ass, but he has Cloudwalker. It's all he really needs. Except unlike Necros, where he's got one okay ability and 3 dogshit ones. Wukong's Iron Staff is in a really good spot right now. Wukong's Celestial Twin can be very helpful. Defy is your helmet slot. So, phenomenal character. If you really want one character to just, like, carry you through the game, listen to everybody else that played Wukong this year. Let's go check. Yeah, there's fucking 1,300 years put into Wukong in the last year. So, yeah, they know what they're cooking with that one. Now, we already saw this. Oh, boy. Yeah, this is probably the time where I talk about my companion, huh? Rupert Fortnite is his name. What do you want me to say, dude? The Panzer Vopophile is just too good. I find it very hard to take him off. The only other companion that I really have that I want to talk about is our Huros Kubro, Roblox Gerald, which if you're wondering why they have funky names, it's because they are community named. And they are not funky, they are gas. But, poor Roblox Gerald, our first pet on the account. I mean, I guess it was Taxon, but he's not really a pet. He's a robot. Our first pet, and we never use her. Rupert Fortnite, the Panzer Vopophile all the way. He does viral, he armor strips, he doubles my loot. He does it all. I just love him. 3.5 hours as my bald-ass operator, and 0.01 hours as the drifter. We have not done the Deviri Paradox or the New War. So, how did we get that time? Simple. We put a little bit of time into the Parida Rebellion and Descendia game modes when they came out. I got to play as the Drifter for the first time in Descendia, which I won't be going back to on the account until we naturally unlock it. So, we had a little bit of time with the Drifter this year, or last year. So that's gas. We'll get a lot this year, though, because at the current age we're in on the account, we're going to be tackling the Deviri Paradox. So that number is probably going to be way higher than our operator. But for now, at least he made it. An 8 million focus. Well, 8.5. That's pretty good. 42 Eidolons killed. That should say like 39 captured, because killing Eidolons is kind of inefficient. You want to capture them so you get the full drop table on their arcane rolls. On Zero Kodas, yeah, we're not there yet. Oh, here we go. 83 Warframes and parts crafted. Nice. And 37 Forma invested. You'd think with a Forma bajillionaire like me, I'd be a lot more trigger happy, but no. Most of these Forma went on my glaives, my Zorus and my Glaive Prime. And the rest was just getting base Warframes ready for priming. So I'm very hesitant to spend this a lot. But I think this number probably doesn't go towards Formas used crafting. So it might be a lot higher if like Formas used. But that's nice. Most played defense mission though. Hydron. Yeah, it makes sense. It's not a very good solo XP farm, by the way. I need to find a better one. 15 Murmur enemies defeated in Descendia. We made the board. 80,000 Corpus canned. 1,800 bounty missions completed. This is a lie. We did not complete 2 Parida Rebellion runs. We actually did 3, because we did one of each of the bosses. And 26 focus nodes done. And then we get to the thank you. That's pretty neat. All in all, great year. The stats are looking good. We've accomplished much. So that's going to be it for our year-in review on the Warframe Iron Man. I dedicate this video to my 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for tuning in to my series. We're going to keep it going this year. We're probably not going to finish it, so you'll have that to look forward to throughout the entire year, 2026. That's going to be gas. I'm so excited to be continuing on, and especially now that we're getting into a lot of the endgame stuff in Warframe. Maybe it'll be another half a year before we even touch that, but it's just gonna get so much more exciting, and I'm so glad that everyone's decided to tune in with me. This is gonna continue to be my passion project. I've been having so much fun with it, and thank you all so much. My name has been Skeletormandee, and this is what we've done on the Iron Man in 2025. Thank y'all so much for watching. See you in the next one.